Hello, folks. I'm back. I've had a wild weekend, like always. I have boxes. I always had boxes. This is my life. But, but yeah, there was. I go there and I thought they're trying to kill me. Today was just a down to they're trying to kill me. But this here, I'm doing pouch crafts. I went ahead and I made I made this out of my shirt out of I made my shirt out of an old bathrobe because material is material. If you're not going to use it, find a way to recycle it in your life. That's what I like to say. Or you got to throw it away. Other than that, I guess you'd be considered a hoarder. Because they have all those shows on TV about this, so that just is what it is. Because sometimes you don't want to display all of your stuff. Alright, just a teeny bit longer. And I do like to display all of my crafts and things that I do. Yeah, this is good. You kind of gauge it to where you want it to be. I try to make use of every dang thing I have. Everything. Because this is what you do. Okay, these two, I have a lot of good energy to them. Oh, hi! Havoc Muhammad, how are you doing? I'm showing you guys how to do pouches today. This one has a lot of energy in it. And it gives good energy. So, and Native Americans used to do this a lot with these pouches. So, I'm just taking a piece of cloth, and then you just take a simple little knot over here. And knot this baby up. We're going to take this, and you knot it this way. But sometimes some things hold more energy to you because of just simply because of the rock it is, and maybe it has some kind of significance in your life. Just like diamonds hold significance to a marriage. And diamonds, they weren't always expensive through medieval times. Oh, hello, how are you? So, if you feel like you're affiliated with a certain kind of crystal or rock and you've had good luck with them, sometimes it's good to put them in little pouches and stuff. It's like a lot of knots and stuff. Okay, I'm going to take a bit of this and I'm going to knot around this. Because crystals, they don't like to be, they like to be in a cozy little place. And sometimes make it decorative. The Native Americans used to hand weave all their stuff, but not everyone's a Native American. They're very spiritual people. They really are. I mean, there's a lot of spiritual people in the world. I'm not saying just not Native Americans, but they're affiliated to things of the earth, and they affiliate themselves to animals and stuff, which is really what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to actually care about everybody on the earth, and is considered them. Okay, I can help you, Karan. You're my friend. As laugh out loud. At my work, I had contaminated water issues all week. And there you go. And you can hang this anywhere. I'm probably gonna do another one. I'm gonna do Karan's reading now, but yeah, people. I don't think people event really think about the world around them, but in many cultures, they affiliate themselves with animals and spirits and everything. And there was many gods at one point, but it's because they affiliated themselves with so many different ones. So many. Because as you should. Because these animals and the world around us are part of our realm and we shouldn't be vicious towards them. Because all that really does come back to us. Whatever pain you inflict on another person really does come back to you. And it's not because God hates you or this or that. He always redeems and wants to give another chance. It's because whatever you put out there comes back. And that's absolutely true, my friends. Absolutely true. And those are things that you have to do. You have to be considerate if you want a good life and if you want good things to happen to you. You really do. Alright, let's see what's coming for you, Karan. Or your energy field is. Alright, your energy field is in a mutual moon. And this is just saying that everything, if it's going bad or good, it's not in a direct path where it has to go one way or another. So I'm seeing that you had like some setbacks and stuff, but they're not gonna affect your future, not at all. These setbacks are actually gonna shape it for the better. They really are. It's almost like Back to the Future, where I don't know if you guys listen to Back to the Future. I love all those movies. They're great. If you didn't watch them, go ahead and watch them. They're funny, and I don't know. I just like them. They're from my era. But anyways, like Back to the Future, when they changed the ripple of the future, and then Doc said to and Doc was told the young couple in there in the movie. They go. He said the future is unwritten. That's what mutual moon means. Your future is unwritten. There's nothing. There's no energy swaying it one way or another. And then you're surrounded by a waxing moon and a full moon Sagittarius. A waxing moon just means your energy is getting stronger. And that's a good thing for your energy to get stronger because it just means that it's paving the way for good things. And sometimes for good things to happen, takes a long time. I call 2 months a long time, but it doesn't mean it's quite there. It just means it's gaining. And then you get the full moon in Sagittarius just lets you know to think of the end goal and don't think of just what's happening here and now. It's what's going to happen in the future and what you're setting forward. So I just see you getting yourself situated for your best life, Brian. And sometimes it's better to have a little happy surprise in life. I mean, I've had a happy surprise. I never thought coming in front of this camera that I would actually have 877 subscribers. Who would have thought this out of a person like me? I don't consider myself the most sociable person, but here I am. So, sometimes you just have to have faith, Karan. Have faith, and there's nothing negative in your path. I promise you. I would tell you if there was. I don't lie. Love reading. Alright. Let me see here. I'm not using so many comments at one time. Alright. You, and this is Usherman. Alright, should you wait for Shuli, or will someone else come in my life? Alright, I'll do a love reading for you because I think that's what that entails, honestly. Is a love reading. I can do the energy on that, but you should always just see what kind of comes to you. If you're doing good things, the right person is going to come along. And honestly, when the right person comes along, you will literally just know it. I knew it with my husband. I knew it. The minute we met and talked, it was like he was calling me as wifey and everything else, and it just worked. And everybody said we were going to break up, and we never did. So that's just some advice I could give you, but I'm doing your energy field on this guy. Alright, and you are Ashmolin. I'm probably mispronouncing your name, and I truly apologize. I am bad at pronunciating different names that I'm not familiar with. But your reading is in a new moon, and this talks about new beginnings, new paths, new starts with in your love sector. So, and then you got that's surrounded by a supermoon and a waning moon. The supermoon just talks about you're getting stressed out and your emotions are kind of all over the place. The waning moon just talks about like releasing some of the negative energy you have, your self-doubts and stuff like that. I do see somebody else coming into your life, and I see a choice for you. So I would really start evaluating this fella that you're seeing, because sometimes good things come in that they don't come right at you. Sometimes it's somebody that's unlikely that you would think that you would never be with that they're sending you. So I feel this person that's coming is going to be someone that you weren't expecting. So I would really evaluate if you want to be with this other guy, because it looks like you got a choice. So, And I'd be careful with this choice because it's going to be where one of them's going to seem like they're the best person in the world, and the other person is going to seem like they're not. But look for the inside, don't look for the outside. And really get to know the person on the inside with both of them, and your answer will be clear. Don't go on outside looks, and don't go by money either. Don't. Because sometimes the mystics, when they send you somebody, it's always the one you're meant to be with. Sometimes they're in hard times, and they're meant to get money later, and it's a test of your will to see how greedy you are. And if you pass up that person because of money issues, they won't send you anybody good after that for until you learn your lesson. So, one might not be have as much money. I'm just warning you. I mean, it's I've been through this. My husband didn't have a whole lot of money when we met, but I realized he was the one for me. And we went through some hard times, and now we're better off. We're okay now. So, good luck in your endeavors, and I feel you'll be okay. You really will. Just keep mindful of that advice when mystics are sending you people, because the higher power wants you to be happy, but they want you to be selfless and egoless. It's called ego death. To find the person that you really, really want to, that's meant to be with you, you cannot have an ego. You can't sit there and think that you're better than other people, and you can't sit there and have a big head. The, the universe doesn't like people like that. They don't. They like people with good intentions, and these are the people they choose to help. So, I'm just letting you know as a warning. But you should be okay. Alright, VB Net. Love reading for me when I get make girlfriend. Okay, VB, are you I could do a love reading, but are you seeing somebody that you're thinking about making a girlfriend? I'm trying just to understand the question. So, well, I'll do your love reading. I mean, that's the way I'm interpreting the question. But sometimes, I don't understand the specifics of it. All right, you got a full moon Sagittarius for your love energy. And this just tells you to look at the bigger picture and look at the things around you and stop looking at the outer and look in the inner type thing. So, and then you got a waxing moon, and this is talk about energy gaining momentum. And then you got a mutual moon. And this just talks about like the other reading where nothing is yet written and the path it could go either way. This girl, or I don't know, I feel it's female energy, but I don't know, sometimes I get confused. But the energy in your love reading is just going for full moon Sagittarius, and that essentially just means there's something that's being hidden. And I'm not picking up that this person is malicious at all, but sometimes they're not meant to be with you at times. So I would get to know who they are inside and if you would date them if they were not good looking, and all the circumstances around this engagement, because it's clearly a somewhat of a warning. Because sometimes two people get together and they're meant to be with someone else and they don't listen, and the universe will pull you apart. I will tell you that. So just find out what's kind of going on with this person. And if they're meant to be with you, they will not go away. But I would not go in with the ego at all, because that ego is going to make sure that you don't get the person you want. And that's how the universe punishes you. It takes away things like that from you. And it rewards you when you do well. It's terrible. I don't understand the frustration, but that's just the way our universe runs. And good luck with everything. And I'm not saying that a person's not meant to be with you, BB. I'm not. I'm just saying there's something around the circumstances that maybe you're not. That you guys got to go through something, or something has to happen. So I would just be careful. Take it slow. Don't focus so much on that person being your girlfriend or boyfriend. Don't do that. Because I just feel that when you do that, you label it too quick. I mean, that's just my opinion about it. I believe, like, if you let it go the way it's supposed to go and you're not being pushy and you listen to the signs around you, you have way better results with a relationship. Let me see who else I got. Okay. Okay, you're an Aquarius and she's a Gemini, Ashley. Alright, well, oh, hi, Theo. How you doing? The thing with astrological signs, and I know I'm supposed to be promoting all these signs like they're the greatest things in the world, it really doesn't matter what sign you are. It really doesn't. The characteristics of these signs, I mean, I feel that was an ancient practice, but what really counts is the inside, and if you guys can flourish together. And if you are already together, then you're meant to be. If you cross paths, fate found you for a reason. So I'm an Aries, and I don't have a lot of the characteristics of Aries except for creativity, my friend. That's it. That's all I got. I am very blunt because I guess just, and that's just consequential of an Aries. But I don't sleep around with people. I'm not I'm not a social butterfly and all that like an Aries. So I feel like just because someone's one sign doesn't mean they have to be that way. Maybe there's something, maybe because I was born in the middle of April, where I'm crossing between two signs, but I wouldn't put too much faith into that because my ex was a Gemini and we got along for many years. He just was stubborn. Everybody's a good person if they want to be, no matter what sign you're born under. And you could be meant to be with somebody that's a totally different sign that the astrological wheel says that you're not compatible with. You gotta, this all depends on, this is your destiny. It's in this lifetime who you want to spend your life with. And that's the most important thing. It is the absolutely most important thing. So I would go by your gut and see how it goes. I mean, that's really all you can do. And if you're a good person and you're selfless, generally bad things don't happen to you. The worst thing that ever happens to me is sometimes I have to budget my money more. Because I'm always trying to do good things for other people. I literally gave my resident that wasn't eating. Since I've been sick, I've been having to eat all these healthy meals, and my mother-in-law gives me all this food. And she gives me so much, one person can't eat all of it. So one of my residents, she's on dialysis. She has diabetes and all this, and she doesn't like the food. So I share all of my healthy meals with her. It just because I'm selfless and I don't believe in wasting anything. That's why I do all these crafts. I feel that it's a waste, even to waste a piece of cloth. And I know it sounds strange, but it kind of happened to me when I was sick, and I kind of seen the bigger picture. Because I was sad, thinking that I wasn't going to be able to do one thing I wanted to do ever again, and I wasn't done yet. And that's kind of what happens in life. And I know one day and when I'm 100 something, I'm gonna die, and I'm gonna be reborn again, and I'm not gonna remember this. And that's okay, because maybe my next life will be really good, which I feel that they always are. So I'm trying to be better with these. How is the connection between, and this is Swami, how is the connection between Angie and me? Or Anju and me? That's a pretty name. I like Anju. I could see where the energy path is in there, because I just read energy. That's what all I could do for you, and that is Swami. That's a nice name too. I mean, I was given the name Michelle. I was named after an archangel, so go figure. And the crazy thing is, Pope John Paul came to my church when I was being confirmed into the Catholic faith, and now he's dead. So it just, the longer I live, the more people die. I tell you, it's life is crazy. I feel like sometimes I live to help the people that are still alive and flourishing. Alright, Swami. Your connection energy is in a new moon of Pisces, and this is talking about. It's always goes around meditation and contemplating things, but I guess in layman's terms, it just means to maybe pray on it. Praying is a form of meditation, and look for answers. And that's pretty much where that energies is, but it's surrounded by a cardinal moon and a new moon in Libra. The cardinal moon is just talking about being bold, and facing up to your fears and make the first move. And a lot of people are always afraid to make the first move because of rejection, and I get it. I totally get it. Rejection sucks. But sometimes you gotta put yourself out there. And then you got a new moon in Libra, also, that just surrounds your energy. And this just talks about a new romantic cycle. And it doesn't mean it has to be with a different person. You can have a new moon in Libra with the same person 3 times. So that really doesn't matter. So I would do that, and it's showing a new romantic cycle. So maybe you're supposed to be some kind of romantic with this person. I don't know. Or it could be just somebody's gonna pop in that's supposed to be a part of your romantic cycle that's not this person. Or they're associated with the person. It's kind of like Scooby Doo with the Mystics. They like us to be surprised. They really do. So, okay, I think I got all of them. Okay, I understood. Will my future wife have my creative or artistic talents? Okay, and this is the Space Cowboy. I like your name. I really do. Probably because I like space so much. I like the space. I like that name, Space Cowboy. I wish I could just change my channel and have a cool name too, instead of Archangel name. You got a cool name there. But I'm fine with Chong the dog because my dog has. I went through some. I was going through some shit, and then Chong was filled with worms, and it was almost going through it to his lungs, and I didn't want to live, and I was suicidal when I met Chong when he was 2 months old, and we've helped each other out. We really have. Chong, my dog, saved my life. That's why I did not bat an eye spending $1,000 to make him my service dog because he is the reason I'm here. He's the reason I'm still living and breathing is my dog. And I will that's why I'm passionate again with all dogs and people that are struggling. Because dogs are a lot like us and they're close to us. And I don't know if any of you guys know, but through medical history, they use dogs for to practice on heart surgery because they're the closest to us in anatomy. So they feel a lot of the same emotions we do, and they have their hearts in the same spot. That and pigs. I feel bad for the pigs. They literally are just born to be slaughtered, to be roasted, and this and that. But I guess there's a reason. I don't try to judge, but I guess there's a reason. I'm against all this corporate farming. I'm totally against it. I hate it. I hate that they have to be in the cages. I hate it. I want the actual real farmer. And I wouldn't mind paying extra money and eating a little less meat to do it. I really wouldn't. But anyway, Space Cowboy, your love sector with this future wife of yours is in a fixed moon. And this just talks about holding on and manifesting your vision, which is a good sign. And then you got a waxing crescent moon also. And this just talks about having faith in dreams, which is a very good. These are the circumstances surrounding your fixed moon. I don't you guys might get a little confused at that because I'm just so used to dealing with cards. It comes natural like a mathematician with math. And then your other circumstance surrounding when your first moon is full moon in Libra. And this is a very good card, Space Cowboy. And this is a win-win outcome. This just means I don't know, I feel like it's you're going to get someone that's artistic. I really do. I It's all positive, but I think that this person is just going to come out of nowhere if you already haven't met them. And you're going to click. So, I do think they will. I do see this. Because you wouldn't have got a fixed moon on it. But what kind of artistic stuff, I don't know. It could be like me where they're painting. It could be a lot of stuff. It really could. Alright. And hello, Theo. And I think I got everyone. And thank you, Space Cowboy, for coming back on. I think I remember you on one of these other streams. I appreciate your support. Because you do know that I'm enlarging this, and I'm gonna, because these stones are very important to me. Yeah, I'm autistic, and sometimes when I come on here, I don't know if I'm doing a bad or good job. I really don't. Because sometimes I see the world in different ways. I don't know, sometimes I think they're not the best ways, but sometimes I see the world in different ways, and I never know if I'm doing a good or bad job, is pretty much what I'm trying to say. I go to work, I try to help out who I can, I try to help out the sick because that's what the lighter God would want me to do. So I find myself buying them food, buying them perfume. I spend money on, when I get paid, my money goes to residents, and I don't have a lots of money, but I always do. And then a lot of people ask me why I buy stuff for the residents, and I don't understand why that's a thing where I don't know why you'd have to ask. Why wouldn't you want to buy something for someone going in the end cycle that's dying in life, that's lonely? I don't understand that. And they go through shit. Ever since COVID, everything got just real shitty in medical. It really did. I mean, starting to have a comeback where it's getting nice like before, but it's still not there. And I see these guys and their family members are worried to death about them, and I would be too. And it's just nice to know I have some support in the world of other people that think that there should be good still in the world. Because there's a lot of people that don't believe in good. There's a whole lot of them. And I think it revolves around selfishness of their own conscience. I really do. Alright, I think I covered everything but this one. One little rock keeps coming out here. So I'm going to have to tie another piece on that. Sometimes this method in ancient times, when you tie your nice rocks together, this method was to bind energy together to help you. Like if you put something together of your own two hands, it's supposed to bind the energy together. And it's an old ways practice, but you know what? I like to call this the spiritually awakened age. Since we're in this spiritually awakened age, I kind of feel like we should adapt to some old ways. And I know it sounds crazy, but some old ways are good, and the Egyptians did this, in fact. I have affiliation with Egyptians. I don't know why. I think maybe in another lifetime I was an Egyptian. I really do. So, but that's just me, and I always and I always sometimes have little dreams of Egyptians. And sometimes I even dream of Cleopatra and like different stuff. And I'm not sure if it was me or if I was affiliated with her or what, but sometimes I have flashbacks and they're out of nowhere. And I just know different things for some reason. I don't know why, I could not tell you why, but I dream and these little things come to me. They really do. And it's a binding ceremony from the ancient Egyptians that came to my mind. And they were very spiritual, yes. Their priests were very much in energy, and they were one of the first people that utilized crystals in the world like they did. It was said that they had electricity. They've had that in a YouTube video. So that's any YouTube video you can look at over here. And I do remember just being in a room of crystals, and I have dreams about it, being in a room of crystals. So I don't know. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not true. I couldn't tell you. I do think that there is a big connection. And see, this is not long enough because I'm trying to bind my stones together. But they built these fantastic pyramids. Fantastic. And I've always believed there was life out there. When I was growing up, it wasn't like it is these days. Like, you guys have it easy. They used to call everyone, if you thought there was life on other planets, they would call you crazy when I was growing up. They would. And I used to say, I'm not saying that I see aliens, but I used to tell people, if there's other universes and we're not the only ones out there, because we can't be, because I believe in God and the theory of God. Essentially, if you just look at it from a philosophical point of view, which I always look at everything from a philosophical point of view, is to every good action, there's another action that appears that's not good. And that's how, if you know something really good is going on, something really bad's going to go on all after that. So I believe that that's pretty much the where karma comes into play. Some people might think I'm crazy, and that's okay. I'm alright with that. Alright. No, I'm just tying all these little things together. And when you do this binding with your rocks, you can tie them anywhere. You could use as a necklace. I used to use them as a necklace, and the more knots you put in to it, it's the more details of your life that are incorporated in. It's an ancient practice that I've always dreamt of. I used to dream these all the time, and I dreamt myself making these in a temple. It's crazy. I used to think I needed to go see the psychiatrist, but now I'm thinking it might be a premonition from possibly another lifetime. I don't know. But the things I do seem to help. They really do. Because I obviously needed help when I was suicidal before I met Chong. And I did a binding ceremony to try to literally just bring love to me. I did a love ceremony because I was alone and desperate, and I had money to help somebody else or help another being out. And then Chong came. He came at the time where I was at my lowest, and maybe the binding ceremony I did that the one day, months later, that's what came about of it. Because you got to remember, if you bind for love, sometimes you're not always getting romantic love. Sometimes you're getting a love that is going to last a long time that necessarily isn't romantic. I mean, all that is going to come when it comes. And it is going to come because we're meant to reproduce. The universe absolutely knows we have to reproduce because life will cease if we don't. It's just all there is to that. But I'm creating another knot here. And you could bring this over. Like, I'm going to wear it as a necklace. Sometimes they say in ancient times, if you wear your binding, you could tie it. You can like roll it over and stuff also. But it's supposed to be meaningful and help out. But we'll see. We'll see what this does. I might do a little bit longer on this, so I'll cover up the other one. But yeah, I mean, possibly that's why I always give different readings than most people. I feel it's because I just have all this going on and I'm just trying to figure things out. I'm just still trying to figure things out because I'm plagued by dreams sometimes. I really am. When I'm dreaming, I just things come to me, and sometimes it's bad and good, and there's sometimes it's good around the full moon, around that eclipse. My whole body just I didn't I felt weird, and then all the spiritualists were calling for death and this and that. I seen it as a rebirth. That's all I seen that eclipse as. And it was like a justice eclipse. And I did try to live stream around that time to warn people that if they're doing really bad actions, that was the eclipse that was bringing justice right away. So if you did do anything really bad, you were going to get your justice right away. And some people do bad things because of drug induced things, and I get it, so I was trying to warn people. And really, kind of, this is how it starts because I do like to try to help people as much as I can with what I see because I feel it's important. Alright, hopefully, this is here. Sometimes when you make your own things and your own little stuff, it always ends up different than when you started. It really does. But yeah, I mean, lately I haven't been having any bad dreams. I do have dreams of every once in a while I see dogs being tortured. And it's not because I'm watching these videos over here, which doesn't help the situation with anything, because I'm not saying anything against these groups because I like that these groups do this, and they're there for us, the animal groups. But I do see every once in a while I see an animal being tortured and stuff in my dreams, and I don't like it. And I try to reach out to the innocent as much as I can because I see it. When I first started doing this, I used to see a lot of people being imprisoned unlawfully. Okay, well, I'm not seeing anybody now, so I'm going to finish this out. There are 0 people here, I think. Is there anybody here, or did you guys move on to a gaming thing or something? I seem to attract a lot of gamers over here. And whoever listens to the stream later, I will thank you for subscribing if you did, and if you didn't, thank you for listening. Because I appreciate everything one way or another, honestly. I really do. Alright. Net this. I'm doing my net thing now. Yeah, pretty good. 48 minutes to net this. Right. Okay, move over this way. Make this nice and long. And then I'm going to try out my new kit that I got. And do a little drawing. Oh, there we go. Oh, yes, this is nice. Maybe this will bring some good things to me. I don't know. I think I brought my drink with me. I don't even know if I did. I think I left it over there. I'm gonna go grab my drink on the counter and I'll be right back. I just finished doing my binding. I put the stones in, whoever joined me, in here and kind of put it in the material. Because I made this shirt earlier. And I'm just going to grab my drink. I'm thirsty. Alright, I'm back. And I am here for a reading, if you guys want a reading. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try out this new kit that somebody gave me for a donation. Because I appreciate everything people give me. And it's really nice. It is. It's called a Darnus. I was delivering food to my residents because I always bring extra food and stuff to them. And it has all this. And it even has oil pastels. And they're nice. And it was never used. And there's this in it, so I figure I would use this also. Because I like to use everything people give me. And there's these, I like my twisties though. My twisties are great for the colored pencils, but there's all these little tiny pictures. And I do my own artwork. Oh, good. There's only 2 of these and the rest of this. So we probably can... I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do sketch something here and then do my old pastels. And I'm going to use these. And then I might use these and I don't know, I still might use my twisties, but I'm going to use these for another occasion. I'm going to put these in here where this space is cool. And then since this paper is there, I'm just going to put this for future crafts. And for anybody that's new coming in, I definitely... on my community board, I have my paintings. And I do have those, so. Alright, I think I should be able to sketch on this. This is a nice little board. I'm going to use this to sketch, and I liked my twisties. And there's a whole lot of paper here. And I'm going to put this, I'm going to sketch something, like a quick something here. And then use my old pastels and put it on a piece of construction paper. Because that's always a fun draw. I'm going to get my computer going. If you want a reading, let me know. I am here for that kind of stuff. I'm just trying to get my computer going. It has issues sometimes. But I am here for live chat and tarot card readings, and I am getting better at this with the comments. So I did get to all the comments efficiently today, and I am still doing that, so I know that's why a lot of you guys peep in and out of the chat, because you don't think I'm doing that, because I just don't like to... Sometimes I don't like to just solely do that. It's just how I roll sometimes. but I do enjoy these twisties. And I'm enjoying this just for a nice surface. And it does have extra oil pastels for me, so I'm going to go get my green. So I'm thinking about doing a rose. I do like roses. I do think they're fun to make. And I got these little sheets of paper, which is nice. Alright. I'm getting this computer going. I am here for readings if you're confused. I just like to do other stuff and try to show you that you don't have to always focus on the mystics. You're here to live and enjoy your life. You really are. And arts and crafts are nice. They're nice to do. And I have them all in here. The ones I did. I did this the other day. I have it on my community board too. I did this one. I'm going to finish up that piece and put someone's name in it. And I did this one myself. I try. And then I got the Bing translator. But I'm waiting on my pick on here. I think everything went through this way. Alright. Now I'm going in and looking for some rose sketches. I'm trying to get better at certain things. And then I'm going to do the tips of my rose with these pastels. Alright, I don't know why it's starting. Microsoft Bing. There we go. Alright, it's coming up. And then I'll start that. Instead of always do a poster board, I'm thinking little papers would be nice. And then I glue it, or you can tape it on another piece of paper. I feel they're nice. And the main thing is they're cheap. Cheap is good. You don't want to spend your money on things that you don't need to be spending on. Yeah, absolutely don't. I don't like to spend my money on things that are unnecessary. Right. I'm going to do a rose. Rose is a very detailed sketch. It really is. Rose sketch images. Okay, it's images. Alright, I guess if I could put it in right, we'd be good here. I'm still learning, and we're all a student in life. I'd like to point that out. If you think you know everything, you really don't. There's always one thing you don't know. And this is a God's honest truth. I forgot what famous philosopher it was. I think they all said it, all the philosophers, but they said that we are a student in life until we die. And they say this, and honestly, it probably is absolutely true. Because we all are masters of our own destiny, and we're students in life. We're students for everything. because none of us know everything. None of us will ever know everything until we're dead. I mean, I hate to put it so blunt, but it's true. This painting valley has a lot of interesting stuff. My friend's daughter recommended this to me. I haven't watched it, but I probably should watch this painting valley. I don't know if they have them over on YouTube, the painting valley. They probably do. YouTube has everything. It really does. YouTube has literally everything you can imagine. It's insane how much YouTube has. You want to do anything, you can, and have a question, go to YouTube. Okay, I don't know what's coming up now. We'll see. Hopefully it's a rose. Okay, we'll just go with rose sketches again. Just want one simple rose on here, and then I'm going to do that and then show you how you can put on a piece of paper, and people like this. People absolutely like this. They do. People, they act like I'm giving them like this extraordinary great thing when I'm literally just giving them a picture. If you put effort into it and you make it nice, there's a lot of projects you can do. It really does. It has it. Okay, I did not want to put that in my cart. It was something else. Alright, we're just going to go with this one. Because I'd like to try to do the hand drawing. Alright, so I have the slowest computer in town. I really do. My computer's 12 years old, and I've been keeping it going. Alright, so I got a small piece of paper, so I'm trying to find just a simple drawing here. Maybe I can find it. I'm hoping I can. Oh, this is pretty. This little red rose flower art. And it's single. I probably could draw that and put it on here. It'd be pretty. And I can show you that on the pastels too, because I got lots of pastels, lots of them. I love pastels. Chong, you were just out, okay? Alright. Okay, here it is. It looks like it's watercolor too. I'll show you what I want to get here. The picture I want to get done is right here. Right there. I'm going to try to get that executed on this paper. And I always thought, there we go, that I couldn't do this stuff, but if you keep at it, you can. You can do anything you put your mind set forth. You really can. I am going to get some more arts and crafts. My husband's big check's coming. He supports my YouTube, and his big check comes in like a week or so, and I'm going to try to order in some more arts and crafts because I would like to get something different in the stream, and he says I need to mix it up. So as soon as he gets paid, I'm gonna buy some more stuff because I don't expect you guys to get me anything because I'm not here for money. I'm here to hang out with you guys. And that's it. I'm just here to say hey, hang out, and let's be friends. I'm gonna use a gray one. And we had to pay our rent and a bunch of stuff, so he wasn't able to buy me the stuff I needed yet. But he promised me he's gonna buy me the stuff. So, and I trust him. He's my best friend and my rock. So, I'm gonna start the first part of this, and it's not gonna look exactly like it because you're drawing it from an image, and you're adding your own pizzazz. That's it. You're just kind of going through things because I'm like I said, I'm new to drawing, and I use it for my arts and crafts because people really, it's cheaper if you can actually draw it instead of having to buy it. It's so much cheaper, so much. And I do say this because it's expensive, and you don't want to, and it takes away the fun. And it's a little bit, it took me about 6 months to be able to doodle a little better, but that's okay. I mean, that's the fun in life. It really honestly is. But when you sketch a rose, it is very detailed, so you got to be careful when you're going through your sketch for this. Alright, I'm going to start all the details from one side and go to the other with this because it's so much easier to do that with the rose. Because they could be terrible trying to execute them. And this is probably from Painting Valley. And I'll show you guys what I'm sketching here. Well, since I got someone else watching, I'm trying to execute this or something like this on my paper. And this is kind of what you do, and you know what? It's cheaper. And it's better to be cheaper and have it hand done. Because honestly, I give these away for presents, and I make them all the time for the residents. I really do. All the time I make these things, and they love them. I make them stuff on poster board, but you know what? Maybe I should just utilize my paper. Sometimes this is what you gotta do. I'm shading in the details on this side. Because, like I said, these roses are very detailed. Very. And it's good to start from one side to the other. But I am here for... Oh. I have a little string here. I am here for tarot card readings also. I really am. So, if you have any, bring it on. I'm here for you. If you don't want a tarot card reading and just find me interesting, that's okay too. That truly is okay. I'm alright with either or. Because that's why I say and live chat. I don't want a tarot card reading every day for myself. Sometimes I just want to chill and see where the universe brings me every day. I mean, I used to wonder when I did get readings and all that and try to give myself readings, which I can, and I got more confused than when I started. So sometimes I just like to just see where life is for that moment. But I'm trying to get the details on the bottom of this. And I'm pretty sure this is Painter's Valley, and it's kind of cool that they all came together in this Painter's Valley. They sure did. All these different painters came together to literally make one segment with a bunch of them. They came together, and that's cool. Alright, this crosses over, so we're gonna shade it to show that. And you just gotta play around with it. You really do. Just play around and give it some time, because if you have any kind of like anxiety in your life or stuff like that, this is the best way to get it out if you enjoy doing it. Or music. Listen to music. They got music therapy all the time. A lot of residents, they do that with music therapy all the time because it gets depressing life. They used when I worked at the kids home, they did like art stuff and music therapy. So it absolutely does work. That's where I got my idea from. It's not, I got it because it's a thing. They teach. It's for autistic children also. They do all these different therapies, and they do it for the elderly also. So they really do. And really, it is nice, and it's very relaxing. And you make something that you truly enjoy and you could be proud of. And it doesn't matter what it looks like. It really honestly doesn't. Some of my beginning ones were good, but I guess it's because I was able to draw a little. But it's okay if it's not. Because, we're all in this world together. And everything you do is important. If you made it with your own two hands and you wanted to help somebody out, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't feel there is. I mean, some people, they get a little obsessed. I feel they do. And they want to, everything has to be perfect. And my one resident's like, oh, I wish I never broke up with my one ex-husband, and she's not. She went end up going home. And I go, why? But she just say, I ask these questions because sometimes it's nice to know why. And then she said, oh, she goes, if we did arts and crafts, but it was for money and all this. It should never be for money. It should be because you enjoy it. It really should. It should be for the art and because you just truly enjoy it. And I do. Just like musicians, they truly enjoy music. They really do. If they truly did not enjoy music, they would not be able to make music. And these are true facts. They really are. It's honest and it's just the way it is. I respect all musicians because we're all kind of a part of the same pie, if you think about it. They're just trying to cultivate their craft, and so is painters and everyone else. It's the way of life, I guess. And I'm glad and I'm humbled to be in a good community of artists. Over here has the best community of artists I've ever seen. I guess maybe that's why I was always drawn to YouTube. was always drawn to YouTube, even at a young when this YouTube first came out. I always was amazed that this many people gathered together for such a noble cause, I guess you could say. And you gotta go up here and make these little lines, and then they connect up. You're always connecting up with rows. You really are. And there's a lot of shading. Once you finally get the where you could draw like simple things, just remember the shading. I got this so far. I'm just working on getting all my basic shading over here, and just take it a little at a time. And I wasn't when I first started out. I wasn't patient enough with my roses, and then they sometimes turned out like crap. And then I realized I wasn't shading them as I was going along. So I feel that that could be a mistake that a lot of people make. So I'm just letting you guys know for some TMI there. Okay, then there's this one that comes this way. It's down like this. Because this middle part is just so important. It is. It's just so important. Alright, then another little leaf comes here. You kind of got to show this. You want to shade it up nice. Shading all these things up nice is very hard times. And I understand the frustrations for the new artists out there that are having problems with it, because I was having problems with it for a while. I really was. But I realized being tone deaf and everything that maybe music and all that really wasn't for me. And maybe it was just more art. And maybe that's where I needed to focus my life at. Alright, over here starts another leaf with integral veins. And people that aren't artists will judge you on your veins with your pictures, because they're your biggest critics. They are absolutely your biggest critics, is the community that is looking for you to draw something for, and they're looking to see your lines, the veins in your trees, your leaves, and everything. So try to get all these details in, because you'll be judged on that. Alright, now this comes around this way. And there's another little lip that comes through here. And then another one of these come down like this. It's all these integral things. Roses are, I want to say roses are one of the toughest flowers to sketch because of all the details. I really do. I'm gonna just call it on that, because they really are. And if you forget one little detail, it's like just like log cabins. That's a rough sketch right there. Is log cabins. I've never, man, at the log cabins I finally got down pat, but man, did I have to practice the log cabins. It was crazy how much log cabins. And you would think these would not be hard. You would absolutely think this, but oh no, take my word for it. It is not easy. These log cabins are ridiculous at times. Alright, I'm gonna do more of these little lines out. Yeah, I add to it sometimes. because everybody's rose is always going to be different. I don't care if you're looking at, we're both looking at the same damn thing. Mine's going to be drawn a little bit different than yours will. That's the way this goes. Alright, now down here there's some stuff. I'm still here for your questions, guys. I got this so far. And just these, sometimes I will give you tips that help me out a little too. Is do it a little piece at a time. Like if you want to get better at roses, just do a little, like just maybe just focus on, instead of doing a whole entire a bunch of roses at one time, just do one. That's all you gotta do. Just do one rose and try to get proficient doing one. And you can do nice, and I'm gonna put this on a piece of construction paper, so, and someone's gonna like it. It depends on what they like. It's the consumer of the person that you're giving it to. Because roses are love. They're very revered in our society. They're gorgeous. And so they should. Alright, now we got another one that comes down this way. So we're just gonna bring this over. I mean, this rose is a little bit different than this one, but I'm okay with it. I am totally fine with it just being the way it is. And then you just want to go through and just shade what you have to see if you have to have any extra added to it. That's what you kind of want to do. Like in here, there's that little patch where there's like a little bit of, it's like a little torn piece. You can just take it and do a little sketch and just lightly sketch it for torn parts in your rose. You can do that. And I'm trying to make sure I got all these details, since I got things over here I got to detail. Alright, like this. There's a couple little lines coming out this way. You want to get all the little lines, all of them. Please get all these little lines when you're doing, or you're going to be so frustrated. Because they will frustrate you to death with these lines, and then you're going to get so involved, it's like whatever you had that was somewhat good is not going to be good no more. Because you're going to be like, well, damn. What happened? That's what happens. Has happened to me before when I was starting out. And I was lucky because since I deal with a lot of hospice patients, some of them, they're famous artists. They've made most of their income with drawing and stuff, so I consider them my art teachers, my residents, because if you got somebody that's that good that's teaching you, like this, I'm connecting up here because it makes no sense because we got to get the inner core of this nice, and I'm just adding this. Like sometimes if you see something and you see a basic sketch, you kind of don't know where you're going to go with it or whatever, sometimes you can add different lines. Because you might have started it a little different than the artist, and that's okay. You can always shade it in and fix it up. This is what artists do. I've had famous artists that have taught me pretty much what I know, that gave me this advice, so I'm just giving it to you guys. And I'm almost done with this. because I'm going to get my pastel with this very soon here. Alright, this is going to be our top, and we're really good with this. Our top is done. So, we are going to come down here, get this cultivated here. Alright, now there's a little leaf. I'm not very good at imaging as like I would like to, because I am being taught by a resident that can take pictures and make them and put them on the paper just and have it look exactly like the picture. But it takes time. It absolutely takes time. So that is just something that happens. So, and this doesn't make sense like this, so we're going to do this here and connect that leaf there. And bring this around, and there's a budling right here. Sometimes all these artists don't connect these right. And sometimes I gotta do different lines. Now these little lines come out with this. And a lot of these really good artists that you see on Painter's Valley and all that are good to follow, they have it exactly like the picture because they're that good. I'm not gonna lie, they're just that good. So, I mean, it is what it is. And there's nothing no one can do about it because that's what they're meant to do in this world is they're meant to paint. So we're gonna do a nice leaf. I practice my leaf making with the Tree of Life. If y'all want to practice leaves and get them where you can make a really nice leaf without looking at it, start sketching the Tree of Life because OMG, will that damn tree teach you how leaves. There's so many leaves involved because it's as above as is below as above, is below is below. You get what I'm saying. But yeah, it will teach you how to make a nice sturdy leaf. You're going to be making a lot of leaves with this Tree of Life. A lot. That's how I know the curves of the leaves and everything. You gotta associate yourself and become one with the leaf. And I know this because I did the Tree of Life. I did it on one of my live streams, but I wasn't as good as I am now. And I struggled with this Tree of Life. I was thinking about doing it again because I feel that I might give it more justice now that I'm a better artist. And it's only because I've practiced. It's not because I'm better than anybody. It's only because I've practiced. So, that I will tell you. And I'm shading in these leaves. I just made these leaves because I already, like I said, I know I practice leaves with the Tree of Life. This is how I'm able to execute this without a problem. And if your lines aren't perfect, you just shade them. Just shade in your lines to where you get them in the middle of the paint. That's all you gotta do. And a lot of times shading is important because of that reason. Alright. Well, we got this. We want to shade this. We don't want to make it. We want to make it. Give it a soft look. I was told this gives it a soft look by many great artists that I take care of. So, and there we go. So we got this so far. I did this all with my. I did the leaves myself and everything. And this was just looking at a doodle. And this is what happens when you do a little doodle like this. And I'm going to put my little twisty there. Alright. Now my little handy dandy case that was donated to me. Bring this out. Alright, this. I'm going to make it red. I'm going to try out these new pastels here. So I need red, and I'm going to go with basic green. And then see if they got a darker red, so we can make this two-toned. Alright, this is an orange, so we want to stay away from that. We're going to go with red. And then I'm going to go with this color too. It's like a dark pink. And put my little thing here, which is good. I'm so glad this thing was donated to me. It's really changed my life. But we'll start down here. And then I got these two. I'm shading in red, and it's like a dark pink type thing. Because I'm going to make this a two-tone one. Yeah, these aren't bad. These are pretty good. This is a nice kit. And you guys can see what I'm doing. That's what's good about this kit that was donated to me. And I'm happy with anything. Even if people give me paper, I try to use it. And this came with the kit, this paper, so since she was so nice enough to do all this, this is what I'm doing. It's almost like crayons, but these are a little more precise. I do have a professional kit too, but this I think is a professional one too. And I always hear people at work, they always keep things for years. Me, I use what I have, save up, and I don't need to keep things for years. I do try to keep it as long as I can and use it up. And I think I've got to the point where I have so many pastels and stuff that I'm not really going to be buying. I don't need to keep buying it like that. But I feel that pastels are what adults use. I mean, kids that are beginning out at this, yeah, these oil pastels are good to learn to blend and stuff. They absolutely are. I recommend these to if your child has interest in art and they're doing really well with their art and you want to keep them doing something. I do recommend these. And I'm just taking the veins inside and just doing that. And, I'm just making this really nice and pretty here. I'm going to do that. And make this color. And then on this buckling over here, take this one. Just like that. You want to combine your colors at times, and obviously down here we're not. And rose they had over there was kind of, I don't know. I'm not sure if I liked it that much because it looked half dead. I kind of made their half dead rose nice. I believe everything should have a chance here. And it's okay to build your sketch with different colors. I'm going to start with red from this kit. And these oil pastels aren't bad. It's kind of nice. It's almost like a crayon. But if you're real heavy-handed, try to be a little lighter because I have broken pastels. And then I'm telling you this from personal experience. I have broken them in half because I was too heavy-handed. All you need to do is just be light-handed with it. Alright, all these details here I'm putting through with red right now because I'm about to do a blend with different colors. Because color blends are nice to do. They really, truly are. You kind of want to stick with a color blend. Alright, we're just going to color this all the way in. And the ones that I shaded in, I know is full one color. And I like to do blends like this. To me, I think it's fun. Alright, break this down. And every line you did with your sketch, you bring it out with your pastels. Every line. That's why it takes so long to do a really nice drawing. That I will tell you. And this I'm just making into an art piece for just a present. Because why waste your money, go to the store and buy somebody something really expensive? Especially if you're low in money. And I say this because not everybody's economy is great in the world. And I don't really talk politics. But there's a lot of political things going on that are being resolved, hopefully, especially here in America and all around the world with America, which I'm from America, so I get it, I dig it, I dig it. And the thing is, try to save what you can in these kind of climates. Because in a sense, it almost reminds me of the Depression, but a little nicer. My husband even said, because I just said, we should have a house by now, he said a real estate agent was telling him that it's good that we rent because a lot of people with the different economies and APR rates just going out the roof, they're buying houses and losing them in 2 years. Alright, shaded in this so far. Now I gotta shade in more colors. You can't just... I mean, for a kid this would be great, but you're not a kid. You're an adult. I mean, and if you are a kid, I did put 18 and older on my stream. I don't cuss a lot, but you want to make it look good. And if you are a kid that's watching this, this is how you can make it a little bit better. Because kids, let's just face it, they're more sophisticated these days. They're taught to do computers at 5 years old, so that's just facts. I'm taking this, shading this down, because this method I like to use, I think it adds nice, precise details and kind of gives it a little pizzazz. Kind of like adding seasonings to your food. Because that's kind of where you want to be with things like this. You want to add the pizzazz. See, I just did the tip with the two colors, and this is what I got so far. It's kind of where you want to be. Just kind of keep going with it. Have fun with it. Because that's your artwork, and you can do whatever you want with it. I give it away for presents. You can put it in your house, and all you need is a piece of tape. And if you do this with paper, you should just cut it for whatever picture frame you have laying around your house. Any of them. And if you want to display your own artwork, which I do, I have paintings around. I don't buy them, I just make them. I find it cheaper to make artwork than paint them. And I love art. I love paintings. So this is why I do it, because I might want, sometimes I want a painting or I want a specific piece for my house. But sometimes you want that piece that's like $200. So if you learn to do it yourself, you don't really got to worry about it too much. All right, we got that so far. I'm going to take another color and bring it in that way. This is what you do. You just keep the blend going. And of course that has to fall down. Okay, it all didn't fall down on me. That's good. I don't know. I'll probably keep this for a long time. I feel like this really being organized can really do a lot. Alright, now I kind of want. I'm thinking this dark red here. I kind of want to keep it this really pretty darker colors inside of here. There we go. And I'm going in curves. Like each one, I'm pasteling different ways. You want to kind of go with the curve of your drawing. Like over here is going this way, so I'm curving it this way. I don't know, I think it makes it look more elegant. And people really think I'm at work when I make them these things. They go, "Oh my god, it's so good." It's just I just do certain techniques. That's it. I'm not a goat. I just listen to people. That's it. But I'm just taking this and bringing this up. I'm bringing this, curving it that way. And it's to show the different layers. Like this, I'm bringing this out like this. I'm swooping it this way. Because instead of, I don't know, I feel sometimes I would love to be a good painter, but I feel I do a way better job with just pastels. I do. Because you can get these curvy lines the way you like them. And you bring life into it just like you sketched it. And that's the God's honest truth. Alright, we got that so far. We got that. Now, for the grand finale, I'm going to go get the black pastels. And there's a bunch of dark ones. It's great. The one I got from Amazon didn't have any dark ones. I had to order in some. With these, I'm taking the tail ends and getting the little spots that I really want kind of shown to overlook some of these details that I don't want all of the color to take away. If that makes any sense to you guys. Because we want to see where this flower starts and ends. And you can use black. I mean, you're just accenting. I like to accent with black a lot of times because I feel that it gives good detail, especially once the color hits there. Especially with sketches, it works well. And these, I'm bringing these together Even if there was a gap, I just bring them together with the black pastel. And I'm putting the tips out that way. And like I said, these different colors here. It's almost like playing around with crayons. Except these just work a hell of a lot better. I've always loved playing with my crayons when I was younger. I probably should have known when I was younger that I could do this. But I got interested in science and medical and all this other stuff. Which I kind of regret being excited about medical because I got exposed to Legionnaire disease at my damn work. And all the nurses keep telling me, oh, we don't know. Everybody would be sick if we had Legionnaire's disease, but then I couldn't wash my hands. They had all this stuff for me to wash my hands, but I don't know. It was aggravating. I was so happy to come home and wash my hands, and I'm glad to be away from there. Alright, now I'm going to do the same thing for the bottom here. Because we have so much brightness, I sometimes feel it's good to use the black pastels just to give it a little bit of defining features. Like I'm going to do this around this too. What you do to one side, you do the other. This is exactly the same principle as math as sketching. And I guess this is why honestly sometimes this could be the most difficult is sketching. Because when you sketch, it's so precise, and one movement you're done with, and it's absolutely true. One raw move, you're done, and it's true. But paint, you can combine your colors. But honestly, when the paint hits the board, that's my problem. Is I can't fix it or I can't shade it. So there's precision in every art, I guess you could say. But I'm filling in all the gaps over here with this because you want these gaps to be filled in with a nice filler like the black pastel or something. This is kind of how you want it. You want it to be brought nicely. I'm just going to put it in here because there was a gap there. And then in here there was a little space. We're going to do a little gap there. And then I'm just doing a little accent to kind of show where some of these veins are. You're just doing a light touch of color. You're not trying to overdo this. It's so when that's my problem with painting. I'm still going to try to be a better painter. But it just seems that I'm a better sketch artist than I am that. But I am not going to work for the police department. I'm not going to be sketching people because for them, I'm okay with that. I'll just be sketching for you guys. Alright, we got that so far. I think that's really good. And we're not even done. I gotta do something with the background. And I gotta use these other pastels. Because these are good for drawing pastels, but I'm just not seeing a lot for it's gonna help me with the other. So, and this is my butterfly. Oh, I think I lost you. I don't know. But here's my butterfly I made the other day. Because I do like my poster bird too. Alright. Alright, let me go grab my other pastel sets. And I will be right. I'm just going up here. I don't know if I always find a better spot for things, and then I can't find them. I don't know if you guys do this, but this is how my life is sometimes. Little in there. Little there. Oh, you know what? They're right under my pencils. Duh. Okay. I got two kinds of pastel sets here. These are the chalkier more kind, and these are kind of like the ones that's in my kit. And they're basic soft pastels. And those are the ones that I used for this. But for the background, these sticks, this cost me on sale like $30. And that was with my Amazon Prime. But I'll show you how these look. You can use something like that. You could definitely use something like that. It doesn't even matter. But I had them at the edge here because I use them a lot. I'm going to use the chalky kind because I'm gonna bring something. I'm bringing color to the background of this because I want to put forth color everywhere. That is the main focus, is to bring color and prettiness and elegance. And I'm going to use this green. And I'll show you how to do that. I'm going to go on this board. It's a wonderful board. Alright, this is chalk, so you just grind it in. And the chalk, I think, works better for background stuff. You can use it for other stuff. Some artists use it for that, but I feel that this is really good for background, and I like the soft pastels for the other. I really do. The soft pastels I think is good like when you're actually doing it, because, and then these are good to accent your drawings. And you just color in this because we're going to rub this in before we put it on the paper. I'm just putting on the paper, or you could just take this, put straight into a frame if you had a frame. I don't have a frame. That's the thing. But there's options out there. If you don't have a frame, you put on construction paper. It really doesn't matter. I like to put this and put it at the curve of your drawing. In the same direction you're coloring around, how that's going. Like I'm taking this and going like that. I'm going in the curve of the sketch. Because if you're always going in the curve of the sketch, you'll never go wrong. If your sketch is going sideways, then make sure all these things are kind of going sideways a little bit. I just kind of want to go out both ways to kind of show the rose. And this rose looks completely different than the one I actually used for my base. So don't think you're cheating just because you're looking at somebody that sketched a rose, because when you're done, your sketch is going to be completely different. And nothing at all like yours. I'm doing straight lines with this, because when I do that, all these straight lines like this are going to show up and make the top of this rose like kind of really stick out. And you try to use a background color that's going to look nice also. I figure since there wasn't a lot of play with the green, with the leaves, why not do a green background? Alright, now we're going to put this one back. You can have pastels forever too. Just a note. Save the shavings. Don't shake it. You do not want to shake. Alright, and for this, I'm just going to go straight up and down to the side, because this is kind of how I want this done and executed. Just want to go straight up and down where you kind of, that rose pops out. And certain colors make things pop out more. That's the fun facts about pastels. You could go all in here. Go straight across here after I did that, and then you're just still shading. I'm making it look almost vintage looking. There we go. Now I'm just doing this, but you'll get the hang of it. You really will. It's not hard. This is very easy, and it's a very easy way of making a simple sketch look very artistic. And here we go, folks. Oh, hey, babe. Here's the man of the hour, folks. Here it is. Our basic sketch that took me an hour. Laugh out loud. This is what happens sometimes. You can't go against artistic stuff here, folks. And I'm going to put this. I found a red piece of paper since this was supposed to be, this is a red rose. I'm going to do this right here and put this on here. It's very beautiful. It really is. It's a very beautiful piece. I'm going to see, I think I have nurse's tape around here. Alright, let me see if I got medical tape. Okay, I did not have medical tape. But I do have glue, so I guess I'm using glue. So get this glue out, friends. But yeah, see, this looks spectacular, and it's something that literally that you could sit around all day and watch TV. If you have a present and you are able to, and you're an artist, you can sit there and watch TV and just be like, oh God, I don't have any money. I won't make this what am I going to get this person? Or you could just simply say, hey, I'm an artist. I'm going to make them something, and you end it there. Do that. See. All right. I don't know. I found these little stick thingies when I was cleaning, and I thought I could use it to move around. Move around glue. And this was, my friend gave me this because she didn't want this glue no more, and it's glitter glue. And I said I will make use of it. But I'm smoothing this out. There we go. And I'll put this back over here. I'm just going to use that for smoothing stick. And then I'm going to lay this on top of the construction paper. And I picked red because I felt it was pretty and it would make it look better. And then, of course, you got to let it dry on the paper, but there you go. And it's a really pretty sketch. And it was something that came out of nothing. And sometimes that's the best things in life to have. But I've had a great time today. I'm going to start putting away all my stuff. I'm going to come back on. Again, my friend wants me to go on TikTok and do her tarot card reading. I don't know why she just doesn't subscribe to YouTube and why she says that her son has some kind of ministry over here and he makes a lot of money. And I said, okay, I'm not against people making money. I wish everybody to have enough money, but I guess she doesn't know enough about the live streaming here. I don't know. She wants me to go on TikTok. Sometimes TikTok is like the ocean. I used to say that about here. I prefer to twistables when you're sketching. Even though this fancy art set here has these pencils, these I do prefer. I just think they glide nice. I was given these and I vibe with them. I'm not gonna lie. They're wonderful and I vibe with them. I do. Alright, put this in here now. And sometimes I put these in a nice box. Everything's a nice box to me, but. And then again, here it is. And this is what we made out of nothing. And I got all of these pieces of paper here. And I make use of everything, even my little pieces of paper. Sometimes that's the way you gotta be. Like I said, in today's climate, we all got to survive one way or another. So we might as well not suffer. And you know what? If you can't afford to buy something, don't worry about it. I didn't buy anybody for nothing for Christmas. I made them stuff. So. And I didn't regret none of it. I don't care. If you don't have it, you don't have it. It don't matter. If they really are your friends, they will like that you made them something. Why go broke when there's other things that are more important in life? I take my pastel sets so it actually goes down and flattens them nice. Sometimes I use them for that purpose. And I'll probably be back here. I do prefer to come on this network above all others. So, and you guys have been great. I have actually had a real fun time between making my little pouch for this and my rose sketch portrait. So, I am going to let you guys go and I will be back. If you're subscribed to me, you'll know when I come back. If you're not, I'm sorry I missed you and I hope you're having a great day. And I will see you later and I'll be doing I'm always doing tarot card readings. So have a great day.